Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Sumi Sarah and I have a speed build for you in 131021 Chick Street. This is one of the smallest apartments that you could actually have in San Manchuno, which is the city from City Living and that pack. I wanted to make this apartment very, very sparse. So this is the idea of a sim who has decided to go off on their own. They've got their very first apartment ever, so it's budget friendly. I mean, think about everything that you would necessarily like pack into a truck when you move to the city. I'm talking like everything like built in cabinet wise and things like that is like part of the apartment. So I do have a little bit nicer counters and cabinets, but like we've got the bare minimum for necessities because you basically spent all your money on renting this place. So you've got a closet, you have the bare most simple fridge and stove and a sink, no dishwasher. You have just a few personal belongings of your own. I went for a kind of a teal look in the kitchen and then kind of a little bit brought it into the rest of the place, just the teal mirror there in the corner. Um, and when I say like first apartment, like this is like first apartment. So the dining room table is like fold up chairs or no, fold up table with some like beater chairs that maybe you found on the side of the road that somebody was giving up. The bedroom ends up having a bed that is the blow up mattress, which I find so funny because I know a lot of friends that when they found their apartment, they couldn't necessarily want to spend their money on a nice bed. So what they did was they got a blow up mattress and they slept on that for a while until they could go and get something a little bit nicer. This apartment also like is very simplistic. There's nothing wow about it because the landlord is just trying to rent it and make money and doesn't really necessarily care to keep up with styles. So like the wallpaper's got this nice like a little bit dingy brown. We've got the very like old tile for the cat for the kitchen and entranceway. Um Even like the ceiling lights are just very simple and not really interior decorator style. The bathroom, this is a one bedroom, one bathroom apartment. The living room is kind of just like a mesh of two living room chairs that I ended up going with, like this dingy yellow from City Living, which is actually an unlock item, as well as this chair from Eco Lifestyle that kind of looks like it was created or handmade. Then I took the debug TV from Eco Lifestyle and stuck it on top of a little stool. I use these like cute, the Dream Home Decorator bins in the living room as like an end table because I was thinking like the money for furniture is usually like the hardest to come up with or to obtain. So like using boxes stacked up as an end table makes sense. And so like that little shelf there is like part of the apartment. It came with the apartment. So the sim use the couple of books that they do own as well as like a succulent plant and like that's what they're calling good until they can maybe afford more. Also, we just keep it very simple in terms of like the all the furniture. So in here's our blow up mattress. I also have a walk-in closet, but the sim doesn't have enough money to even really like furnish it. So it stays like bare and empty and uh almost like it's real. It's like if you didn't have any furniture and you didn't know what to do, it would just kind of stay empty. The curtains all came with the place, as well as these sconces in the wall, and that's kind of what the look I was going for is kind of just whatever the sim could make. I end up putting a little like skill building item with the knitting pack. I love how that adds so much gameplay, and so I thought that maybe since this sim couldn't afford to buy everything that they like created their own rug for the living room. So I end up getting rid of the rug that I have in there right now and putting one in that looks very handmade. The other thing that I did here in this little nook is create like a little office space. So the letters on the table are supposed to represent like all the bills that are piling up that need to get paid. So as money comes in from their new job, hopefully they can get to paying it right away. I use this item from the Star Wars pack on the wall to kind of create, instead of like a cork board, I use like the vent from the Star Wars pack. And then I add on a whole bunch of debug little post-it notes from, I believe it's Cats and Dog? No, Parenthood. Yeah, so those are those really cute little post-it notes that kind of look like lists and kind of create just like little reminders or maybe love notes from their parents before they headed off to the big cities. And then I just got like a little notepad. No computer, because that is not something that the sim could afford. It's very sparse. Then in the bathroom, I wanted to kind of create a little storage closet area. So what I end up doing is I used a platform. I wanted it to be taller because so often, like built-in bathroom closets usually like are elevated or are missing parts of it, probably due to like the stairs or just how the apartment is built, possibly like water system or plumbing or whatever. So what I do is I raise it up and then with I use these small paintings in order to create the illusion of the rest of the drywall being there, because I wanted that archway to go all the way down with like the crown molding for that space. But in this closet, what I do is I add just like some towels and cleaning supplies, like a laundry and paper towel. If your sim ends up making more money, I probably would delete like the front closet and add in a washer and dryer into that space. That would be kind of another neat way to add a little bit more activity play. Then in the bathroom, I wanted this outdated look because this is something the landlord, like, this is why the apartment's so cheap. The landlord hasn't updated things. Like, yes, it's clean, it's neat, but it's like the bare minimum for requirements, I guess, in terms of what the sim was necessarily looking for. So we've got like a shower tub combo. The shower does not work. I play tested it. It is just mostly for looks for this build, but the bathtub works, so even with that curtain in the way, you can still use it. I did end up moving the laundry hamper that's right there, and I put it actually where the robe is because that is where your sim enters the bathtub, and it wasn't working on that right side. So that does get moved before I upload it to the gallery. I also just add a little bit more, like another wall right there, just because bathrooms don't tend to just be nice and open and things, but rather kind of little couple more nooks and crannies. And I didn't want it to feel like a really luscious bathroom, but more of a typical bathroom you might find. So I add one sink in the middle, and I use the sconces, the same sconces that I had used from the bedroom to kind of tie it together. I get our little bathroom in here. Add some clutter into onto the counters like for toothbrush, but like nothing over the top. Like we're not looking for like the nicest makeup because some can't afford for that at the moment. But then I add a nice little front rug and that little knitted rug that I was talking about. That kind of just like brings it all together. In the dining room, I do end up swapping out those folding chairs for a little bit more like beat up chairs that I was mentioning. And that's our apartment. Nice, cheap, and very sparse for your first Sims apartment. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all the love and support. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you'd like to see more, and we'll talk to you soon.